Welcome to this edition of the Wonderbury podcast.
I'm Brian.
I'm Dave.
You can find us online at wonderbury.com.
And I am D. Wonderly on Twitter.
Or I'm Brian Keysbury, anywhere the internet can be found.
You can leave us questions on our Facebook page. Check for the link in the description.
You can leave us comments on the website. And I'll take my time and pronounce it slowly. Wonderbury.com. We've hammered out every intro.
Yeah, that was the first one that I've managed to screw up. It's not too bad.
I haven't even had to read the script in a few episodes.
Yeah, I have it up just in case. So this is kind of a strange night for us to be recording. Yeah. And no, I'm not in sunny Southern California right now, as you can probably tell. I'm back in my little studio that I have here. It's night before release, so this is going to be an interesting thing. I actually flew back from California today.
Nobody ever knows where we are anyways, Dave. That's why we screen everything out.
Yeah, I know.
I could still screen
we spent half
sunny
of
California.
We spent half of last week talking about overcoming some challenges of me recording while in California, and that never happened.
Yeah. It's all right. I got a little sick. Still feeling it. I have actually been sick for over a week, and got bad like Wednesday and Thursday. Friday I thought I was feeling better, and today I'm still just like
So apologies ahead of time if this ends up being a little bit shorter than usual, but yeah.
So how was the trip out there?
Trip out was fine. I got there, so the whole plan for the week was taking care of my mom's storage unit. And there was a lot of stuff in there. So it took me pretty much all week, but got it taken care of, got it done. Flew back today. So supposed to leave last Friday. We get there, and apparently they had to do a tail swap on the airplane that was supposed to pick us up. But so, like 2.5 or 3 hours after we were supposed to leave, it was just leaving Dallas to fly to come pick us up, which would have been an extra 2 hours. Mind you, I had an hour layover in Dallas before I had to transfer over to Ontario, California. So I go to the ticketing agent. I'm talking to them. They're like, "Well, we have an option here. We can have you fly from, see if I get this straight, Fort Wayne to Chicago. I'd switch planes in Chicago, fly to Seattle. I'd switch planes in Seattle, fly to San Francisco, switch planes in San Francisco, and fly to Ontario, California, getting there the next morning. So I would be flying all night, making these jumps and these trips. Or I could just wait till the next day and fly out there." So for obvious reasons, I picked the latter, and I was able to hang out with you on St. Paddy's Day. Surprised you at the tent.
Mm-hmm.
Got to watch, got some video stuff, which should be up momentarily at some point in time, because I think I uploaded everything, but I don't think I gave you the folder access for it.
Yeah, I didn't even know yet.
Yeah, so
I'm excited.
We'll have the video up. Hopefully we'll have the video up this week sometime. So I got some of Brian playing bass, us talking together. I'll put up a nice little mashup of St. Paddy's Day.
That should be good. That was probably the best show we've ever had, even though Amanda was only there for half of it.
Yeah.
And you left halfway through, and it got better. G-Money took over. Jason came out. Tony came up and sang.
Nice.
It went from crazy to insane really fast.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
And I was so sore. I was jumping around and being crazy the whole night. Jumping, bouncing off of things. was
Yeah, you
madness.
showed me picture your finger, how sore it was after playing all night, too.
4 blisters.
Oh. So yeah, that was the nightmare of the flights getting there. And so I was like, okay, well, it's the end of the week. I'll fly back today. Things should go smoothly. So I leave Ontario on time. Not a problem. Get to Dallas, Fort Worth. I have, 40 minutes or whatever for the plane switch. We end up a little bit delayed. So I end up having like 30 minutes. So by the time I took the trams to get to the right concourse, I get over there and the time comes up for them to start boarding, and we don't board. And it says delayed 10 minutes. So then we wait the 10 minutes. Time for boarding. Nope, delayed 10 more minutes. They did this for an hour and a half before they finally let us know, well, the pilot landed on time that was supposed to be flying this plane, but nobody seems to know where he's at. So we've put in a call for a replacement pilot. He should be here in 10 minutes. Well, 3 more 10-minute delays later, and we were boarding the plane. So we get on board. Everyone gets on board. We're all sitting there. They haven't closed the doors yet. And the pilot comes off and says, well, I'm the replacement pilot, yada, yada, yada. All the paperwork for this flight is in the old pilot's name. So we have to sit here and wait for them to deliver us new paperwork so I could legally fly you guys. So another 25, 30 minutes sitting on the at the gate on the tarmac. And then we were finally able to fly. And then the rest of the trip was uneventful, but except I was a couple hours late getting home.
Dude, the word paperwork. Every time I hear that word, I am immediately reminded of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the bureaucrats.
The Volgons.
Yes, the Volgons. Every time.
Love those guys.
It needs to be filled out in triplicate. Every time. Paperwork.
But no, overall it was a good week. Got to go to my first AHL hockey game. The farm team for the LA Kings was playing last night, so we got tickets, got to go see the Ontario Reign. Very good hockey game. We won. Very happy about that.
Nice.
Saw an old friend of mine I hadn't seen in 12 or 13 years, and yeah, it was really good. It was a good trip.
Nice.
Yeah. And now we're here.
We're here. Back on schedule.
Back on schedule. My BTS is late because I was too busy with all that stuff, so that should be out in the next 48 hours. I'll probably put that out either tomorrow or Monday. I'll do a chop up real quick, but that'll happen.
Yeah.
How's the 360 videos coming along?
Not too bad. I got last week's episode up. Dude, processing a 360 video is ridiculous. It is about a 20-hour render time.
Oh, jeez.
20 hours to render it. Over 24 hours to upload it. Every time.
That's insane.
Yeah. It is a ridiculous amount of waiting on my computer to do stuff.
I'll have to look into seeing what maybe my computer could handle with that, and we might be able to get a little bit faster rendering times.
I don't know, it's just...
But we'll have to see.
It's due to the sheer size of the video, because I'm rendering it as I think a 1080p or maybe slightly higher.
Yeah.
But you think about, you have 1080p here, and here, and here,
yeah,
and here, and there. It's huge. It's a huge amount of video.
Oh, we'll have to see. Well, we'll see what we can do to help work with that, because I haven't really worked with 360 video before, so
yeah,
that could be fun and interesting too.
It's not bad.
Or I'll just let you keep burning your laptop out doing it until you burn it completely out, and then you can justify getting a new machine.
Yep. I was thinking
And if
about,
Chrissy's watching, we did not pre-plan his laptop breaking, so don't blame him.
No, I've been planning on it for a while. So it's probably 4 or 5 years old already.
Yeah.
And I know I'm getting about to that point where it's not going to make it too much longer.
You going to run a desktop rig, or you going to get into the laptop?
I don't know. I'm considering a desktop to do the production work on, but then getting myself a tablet on top of that, so I have something portable that I can do the rest of my stuff on.
Well, let's set up a Patreon and see if we can't get people to chip in for a couple of Surface Books for us, and you can get yourself a desktop, and then we can have Surface Books for a tablet/laptop combos.
That would be best.
I think that
case.
would be. I think that would be a really good case scenario for that.
I could probably do most everything on a Surface, I think.
Except for the heavy duty stuff, you'd want a desktop for some powerhouse behind it.
Yeah.
But everything else you should be able to do on a Surface. I mean, Surface tablet's no different than a laptop.
I think the bulk of the problem is I only have 2 gigs of video RAM.
Yeah, that would do it. Though I'm not sure what kind of systems they have baked into those Surface Books for video process stuff. I don't know.
It didn't seem like it could handle a whole lot of stuff, but I like the idea of being able to do the things that I do, but have it more portable than this 17-inch.
Yeah, so far the Chromebook, the Chromebook Chrome Remote thing has been working all right. There's times that I wish I could do some things on hand without having to connect to, but it's worked out fairly well for me. I mean,
yeah.
The Chromebooks tend to lack some processing speed sometimes, but
yeah, and that's what I'd need the desktop for, is so I could just, if I just had the desktop set, I probably wouldn't even use a monitor on it. I'd just have it set in a corner and just remote into it to do any work I was doing. Because really, I just need it. I need it for the processing power to do this stuff. And then I can, well, I guess if I'm doing actual audio recording.
Yeah, you can still hook a monitor up to it and everything. You just, you can still remote into it, so you can do it stuff from remote locations.
Yeah, and if I'm
like I said, I think if I were to, the thing I like about the Surface Book is that it does turn into a tablet, so I can run the stylus, I can have the tablet, I can do a lot of that stuff and have it as a full featured instead of a, Chrome is amazing. Don't get me wrong, I love Chromebooks, but they're still half feature for what we do. Once again, they're perfect for 99.9% of people, but for what you and I are trying to do, I think we need that little extra oomph even on our portable lens.
Yeah. And there's stuff that's coming along. There's a web app called WeVideo that is pretty amazing, but it's costly because it costs you per minute of export. So if, when we're doing 30 minutes every week,
we're actually doing closer to an hour every week because we do a pre and a post. We have 30 minutes of actual podcasting, but there's a lot more that goes into it than that.
Yeah.
And the problem that I ran into when I was wanting to record and I was doing some test stuff with my Chromebook at my dad's house before we decided to Canix and just do it tonight was anything done remote is extraordinarily dependent on the kind of internet connection you have. And Dad's router has a NAT table of 240K. Which means for doing the video stuff, every minute and a half, it would disconnect me, reset the NAT table, and reconnect me. And that would get old really, really quick. So that's one of the biggest problems that I've run into of trying to do this kind of stuff from a Chromebook and do it remote is that unless you have a very high speed, very solid internet connection, video and audio is just not going to cut it.
Well, and that's,
and it's just a current limitation of the Chromebook. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, but with the way that we're doing things, you either needed the Chromebook to do the video chat, or we could have done that. We could have video chatted on the Chromebook and recorded video on your phone.
Yeah, I probably could have done that. Thinking about it, that probably would have been the best. Other than not being able to hook my mic up, so I'd have to rely on the phone microphone.
Yeah.
Once again, we're one of those test cases where it doesn't exactly work perfectly for us.
If I were in that situation, it would have worked because I have a device for that.
Well, you have a device for that. I don't have a gadget for it.
Yeah, if I'd have thought ahead of time, I don't have a fancy
Mac dongle.
Yeah, I've got an adapter plugged so you can plug an XLR microphone into a phone or tablet.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'd have thought ahead enough, we could have done that, but it doesn't matter now.
So I just realized something, Brian. This episode that we're recording marks the end of our first quarter of a year recording the podcast.
Wow.
This is the last episode of March. It's quarter one.
Wow. So do we have a quarterly board meeting after this?
Sure, we'll hold a quarterly board meeting.
And what's the thing the big companies do? Big timers. We
can give ourselves bonuses.
Oh yeah. We're gonna get a bonus.
If we only had, money.
We've increased performance by well over 100% in this quarter. And Dave and I are both going to get a bonus of 100% of current income. Projections are good. Projections are good.
Projections are good. No,
a graph. It goes like this.
Looks like a heartbeat. So yeah, it's kind of a huge milestone for us. I didn't think we started putting together this plan year and a quarter ago now. I didn't think we were going to get this far. And here we are.
A year and 3 months in, 12 episodes.
Yep.
You are welcome, folks. Tell your friends. Don't tell them. Just
tell your friends.
Grab their phone and open whatever app they've got and subscribe for them so they don't forget.
I think we're going to start doing some word of mouth marketing through Reddit, through a few other places. Starting the second quarter, we'll get our Patreon stuff figured out this next month for the next quarter, and we'll click right along.
Because
we have a few specialty things that we've been playing around with, especially with the 360 video. I'd love to see that become a permanent part, not just using 360 as a gimmick, but actually recording the podcast with the 360 in mind.
Yeah. I don't have good ideas. I feel like I have all this capability, but I don't have a good idea to push through with 360 video.
I've got a few ideas, but let's just keep doing what we're doing now with the podcasts and do podcasting in 360, and I'll come up with a few other ideas. The problem is that we're just stitching together 360 video. We don't actually have a 360 camera.
Yeah.
I think if we got a 360 camera, we could get a lot. There'd be a lot more that we could do.
Yeah. Do some, I don't know.
We'll figure some stuff out. But we have some plans that we still want to do. We still have the Minecraft stuff that we want to do coming up in the next quarter. I have a show that I've been slowly hashing out, figuring out how I want to do it, and that'll be coming out this next quarter. So we were pretty excited for quarter 2 of 2017 for Wonderbury Media.
We have merchandise.
We do have merchandise. We don't have any links to any of our merchandise, but we have merchandise.
It will be with this episode, the merchandise launch. You can buy some leggings with our faces on them. I dare you to. That'd be great.
If you do buy any of this merchandise, please send it to us, and I will make sure that those pictures get all in the BTS.
Yes.
And it would be amazing, and it would be fun.
We will make sure to share the love.
It also appears that our videos are started making it into related content links for other videos. We noticed a spike last week's episode, and I was doing some digging in the analytics, and apparently they were from suggested videos sections of other people's videos. So
it's because
we're starting to gain some traction that way, and it's kind of fun.
Yeah, we're posting steady, and that's something YouTube likes.
Yeah.
We've got if we get BTS and the 360 videos out steadily,
that's 3 videos a week on YouTube. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. They like that. There's a lot of things they don't like. They don't like me. YouTube doesn't like me.
No, I'm sure they wouldn't like you.
I know this because I did something, and now I don't have AdSense.
I think I remember you telling me about that one long time ago.
Now what I did isn't so clear, but they don't like me. And I appeal it every 6 months.
We'll figure it out.
Yep.
We'll get something figured out. Anyway, and some of you may have noticed that monetization has been flipped on a lot of videos on the YouTube side. The ads are on everything except for the actual podcast for right now.
Yep.
The actual podcast will always be ad-free unless someone wants to sponsor the podcast, then they can contact us directly. But until we get a Patreon up and running and we're actually getting some stuff from that, we got to do something to help try to pay for some of all the data space that archives of this is all going into. Because from my calculation, we're running somewhere close to each week per episode, including the 360, we're probably sitting somewhere around 15 to 20 gigabytes a week. That compounds upon itself.
The 360 videos are higher than that on their own.
Are they? So
I think last week
there you go.
Just shy of 60 gigs for one video.
So if that's 60 gigs for that, probably a gig for each of the videos, plus the audio, plus the combined, plus another gig for the BTS. That's another 5. So we're talking about 70 gigs a week then of space.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it just keeps growing every week. So, but it's good. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a very good thing.
Yep.
So stay tuned for all that stuff. It's been more of a state of the podcast, the state of Wonderbury Media.
How about a shout
episode?
Out? I'm going to shout out my buddy Drew, who listens. He's likes us a lot. He thinks we're a pretty good show.
Sweet.
I appreciate that. He's a good guy. Thanks, Drew.
Well, thanks for listening or watching or however you.
He wants to meet you, and I actually talked to him for a little bit the other day, because he's a Mac guy, and he was like, I'd come talk Mac with you guys.
That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have another thing coming up the next quarter. We have him who's a Mac guy that can come on, and I have a friend who's a Googler that we're talking to about bringing on. So quarter 2 will have, this will be kind of a teaser episode, I guess. But yeah, we're going to have some special guests, have some more content coming out, and focusing harder on the YouTube side of things. And
yeah, if anybody has some ideas for stuff we could do in 360 or even in 3D, shoot us some comments, because I'm always down to experiment. And if you have an idea and I make it magic, then that'd be awesome.
And if you do have an idea and we do end up doing something with your idea, we'll definitely give credit where credit's due as well. I mean, we have no problems with doing any of that.
Yeah.
But until next week, Brian, I hope you get well this week at some point.
Working on it. Sniffle, sniffle.
Sniffle, sniffle. See you guys next week.
Later.
And marker yourself out.